summer qualifiers. Number 2, your St. Clair Green team. Unfortunately, they did stumble pretty hard against Miami University. They fell 3-1 in their last series, but now they'll be looking ahead in the losers bracket to losers quarters to a best of 5 against Rochester University.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what this Rochester University can do because, I mean, we're in the quarterfinals for the losers finals. So, again, you're not getting any slouch teams. So, St. Clair needs to come out and play. They need to play their game. They need to set up early, play their game. It's not going to look good if they show up and do the same thing what they did last series.
Yeah, if they don't come out like the Saints of the first series of the night when they played, honestly, some of the best Rocket League I think the green team is like capable of playing, to be honest. It's the way the passing, the defense, everything looked like it was working like almost flawlessly, and then they hit a pretty big roadblock in Miami, say they fell out of winners, and then say now they had to face Miami. Miami, very, very, very strong team. We know Rochester, definitely, as you said, no slouches in the end of the CCA run. Every single team that is here deserves to be here, absolutely. So they have their work cut out for them. I think Rochester picked up a 2-1 series win over, I believe it was UAH White or another school. I can't remember off the top of my head, but so Rochester, they have been battle tested. They had to fall out of winners as well. So these are teams that, when you get to losers bracket, man, it's so scrappy. Everyone is just trying to claw their way to the top of the heap, and everyone knows, hey, we're on our last lives here, so we have to really be ready for it, because even in a best of 5, you drop one game and that confidence starts to slip, man, it can be a quick downhill slope.
Yeah, especially being in the losers bracket. This is your last life. It all comes down to this. You have to play your best Rocket League because you don't have a second chance. Yeah. You're on your second chance, and it's all down to this. If you don't win the next 3 games, you're done.
Yeah, and
I'm not sure how many more qualifiers is there.
This was actually the last one Sunday. Yeah, so double on their chance of being out. Say the first series on Sunday, they unfortunately fell, like we said, draw Northwood, literally the world champs 2 weeks ago, had a tough draw, end up playing pretty well. They play an NKU team that dark horse came out of nowhere, looked incredible. So no issues there. But now you're on Thursday. Okay, we have a new day. You start off good, and now you're going to reset, and now you're on day 2 in lower bracket once again. So the pressure has just been mounting and mounting and mounting, and it's finally going to come to a head momentarily. Rochester and St. Clair in losers quarters. Loser goes home, winner goes to the losers semis, and we are kicking off.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the superstitions of being blue, maybe that affected them.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to go with it for now. Let's go with it.
They're back to red, so we'll see how they play here, and I mean, we'll see how Rochester University plays. And nice little shot there by Rahman.
That's more shots than they had against all of Miami in the first 3 games.
That's what it seems like. But again, I mean, you have to forget that last series and move on. This is a whole new series. You're in the lower. You can't bring anything against that last series. You cannot bring towards this series.
Yeah, you got to just forget about it. It happened. You got beat by the better team that series. You have to just chalk it up to, hey, they play better than us. Now we have our chance to reset. Maybe you catch them later in losers finals, or catch them somewhere down the bracket if they end up falling in your place again. You get a shot at revenge, but you'd rather not have to do that. You want to take care of the job in front of you. Lots of demos coming through back and forth. The net almost looks open. Great double commit by the Saints, actually, to keep that off the post. But Rochester, both teams have threatened early on, and I kind of like how the pacing is so far.
Yeah, extremely fast pace. I mean, Kamal here is going to try and set something up. He does get the shot after being demoed, but Skies there for the save, and Rochester looking to take it out of the zone, but again, I mean, meeting him right there against the wall, trying to get a shot there. Vitali getting something going, trying to get something going, but not quite. Kamal, as I say that, Kamal's going to get it. Not a shot on net, a little bit wide, but pretty back and forth. Both teams had their chances, and I'm liking the offense from both teams right now.
Yeah, I like that at least St. Clair, they're getting the ball like they're shuffling the ball and cycling it very, very well. They're getting a shot on offense. The ball comes back to their end. Rochester gets a shot, St. Clair clears it, and then you go again, and you rotate, and you do it again. I already like how St. Clair they seem like they're flowing through the field a lot better than game 1. They got pinched up a lot of times, and Rochester going to threaten. Vitali comes across for the save. Kamal going to try to play it off the corner. Is going to wait for the fake inside. A Rochester member flying into the corner, so maybe St. Clair with a slight man advantage, though the bump will come through. Vitali going to try to make something of it. Unable to get touch. He will get contact on the ball. Rahman comes through for the hit. Vitali trying to get the double touch. Saints threatening aggressively in front of the net, but Rochester keeping the door shut.
Just their offense this game looks, they're actually moving the ball around. They're actually getting the passes started. I mean, even their defense right now has been on point.
Yep.
Rochester University has had so many opportunities already. As I say that, Skies puts it away to give them a 1-0 lead. As I'm talking about defense, always commentators curse.
Of course.
2.5 minutes, just under 2.5 minutes into the game. Both teams are looking really good, though.
Yeah, great job by Skies. Takes the ball up there, able to get the ball past Kamal, fills it into the corner, and Rochester, even though St. Clair has had very, very good defense, all it takes is that one good scoring opportunity, that golden window. Rochester opens the window, able to find the back of the net now, and now St. Clair, once again, they've struggled immensely with this so far today, but will they be able to play from behind? And so far, the answer is an astounding no. Knight makes it 2-0.
Yeah, that's just a gorgeous read. I think Ramen there was waiting, just trying to wait for the ball.
And then Kamal just misplayed.
And you can't, you have to push, you have to force stuff yourself. Yes. You cannot wait for the ball, especially at this. I mean, it's only game one. We've seen what happened after, game one loss, but almost an opportunity there by Vitali. But again, it's you have to play. Yeah, and you have to force plays.
Yes, and now the Saints are actually, they are forcing and getting more shots, but you also have to get good scoring opportunities and good chances, so a lot of shots is fantastic, but you want to try to get quality looks as well, and St. Clair going to try to do that right now, although huge demo by Sky is going to break that up for the time being. Vitali will come through on the side touch, will not be able to bury it. Sky is going to air dribble it back out. Two Saints are there for the defense. Great challenge by Kamal. Going to try to get the second challenge, unable to do so. Now Ramen going to try to play it out of the corner, goes back into the corner for the side of Rochester. Luca is going to try to play it out, back toward Knight, towards midfield. Skies is going to get the touch, trying to go top left corner. Vitali will turn it away for the time being, but this game clock is flying by. Only a minute and a half left, and Saints have a 2-goal deficit to climb out of.
Yeah, this game one has just been flying by. It doesn't even seem like it's been 3 minutes yet, but 3.5 minutes. But again, it's game one, so it's a longer series. You have time to realize what we can change here. Ramen looking for the double touch. It goes off the crossbar. Extremely unfortunate. The demo there. Kamal gets the reset there, gets it in, and he brings it in. What a phenomenal rotation of the car. And this is why he was one of my favorite players last year, because he did this all season.
Kamal going to go backwards, rotate, flip into going forward, going to drive it into the corner. An absolutely stupendous solo effort from Kamal. And now St. Clair, you did get that one back. It's only a 1-goal deficit now, but you only have 62 seconds to make it happen. Although the pacing of this game, we could definitely see a goal in the next few seconds. But St. Clair, you got to find another way to get a second one now. They've been able to find those one-off goals, and they've been able to find some chances. But to beat these teams consistently, you have to find 2 to 3 goals every single match.
There's still 50 seconds left, 45 seconds left. There's still time. Again, they need to force stuff. They've been forcing stuff all game, and that's where they get their shots from. So a little bit sketchy there, sending it out front of the net. That's the no-go zone. Anywhere out front of the net, keep it in the corners. And, I mean, if the demos too coming from Rochester,
massive demos from Rochester.
Massive, absolutely massive. And I mean, maybe the one little mistake can change the thing. Looking for the flip, and great read there by Skies.
Yeah, fantastic challenge on the front flip. They were able to take it out. Luca going to hit it toward the corner, and now 15 seconds. The Saints, their clock is ticking on their game one lives. They're going to have to try to make a play here. 11 seconds, ball is in their end. They are going to get the double commit, so Saints got a lot of work to do. Knight is going to get the demo on Kamal. Once again, Rochester just shutting down Saints numbers-wise. Rochester with a great touch into the middle there. No boost for hardly any of the Saints. Kamal going to try to make something happen, but he's a fish in water there. Just nothing he can do, and then Rochester will clean up game one with a score of 2-1, and that was a really fast-paced back-and-forth game.
Yeah, I mean, fast-paced. That's great. I mean, they only did lose by 1, so they do have something to look forward to. If they continue to play this kind of defense and, force these plays that they've been forcing, this could be a lot closer than people think. Yeah,
a 2-1 game. That means the ball breaks 1 or 2 ways your way. You're possibly winning 2-1 the other way, maybe even 3-1 depending on how things go. So St. Clair, you have to try to bounce back now. I say it over and over and over. The slow start is okay if you're able to follow up. They were not able to follow up against Miami last time, so they need to kick it into overdrive here, and they have to find a way to get these wins.
Yeah, the players are on the field for the pitch at game number 2. And right away, Ramen gets redemption 5 seconds in. That's got to give you a little bit of confidence. Ramen just absolutely setting himself up, getting over Knight, who read that almost perfectly, but just not enough. And St. Clair, just like that, opening the scoring.
Yeah, fantastic start for St. Clair. Those kickoff goals can be real tricky. I mean, there's a lot of boost mismatch. If someone gets that back rotation off the kickoff, and then Saints, able to get it. Vitaly is going to press it again, but if you're St. Clair now, the only problem is you have to play shutout defense for 4 minutes and 50 seconds, which for any team is a very tall order. So if you're St. Clair, I'd look to maybe get a second or third one quickly without sacrificing too much on the defensive side, but you definitely need a second or a third, and they're going to try to set it up, but Luka will turn it away. Kamal just missing.
I don't think Luka actually touched it. I think the redirect went off the crossbar.
Ooh,
I could
closer.
be wrong.
I think it was, yeah.
That was unbelievable. That was almost a 2-0, 2-0 game, but I mean, Rochester University with the little redirect. Oh, that was
a very cheeky little redirect. That would have been very, very nice for Rochester, but St. Clair luckily able to keep it away. But for how long is the question? Rochester still pressing. They're getting tons of these second and third chances against the Saints, and when you get that many of those chances, one of them will eventually find home. Skies actually gets bumped back into the ball perfectly on top of the net, so Kamal is going to play through the corner. Vitaly coming through for the rotation. Just quick little back tap. Didn't use any of the booster, just lets the ball go the other way. Knight is going to play, going to get challenged in mid. Vitaly going to try to get the flip on it, not able to find the net. Kamal is going to try to, and he will bury it in St. Clair. This is exactly the kind of way you want to start game 2.
Yeah, he just kind of, Vitaly set that all up. I don't know if he actually wanted to get a lot of contact, just stop the ball in front of the net and hoping a teammate's there to finish it off. And Kamal was there to finish it off, and now you have Saints with a 2-0 lead. Now it's vice versa.
Yeah.
But there's still plenty of time for Rochester's to get a couple goals back. I mean, you still have 3.5 minutes to go, so defense has to be stellar, but oh man, Vitaly is trying to do some fancy stuff right now.
Yeah, and the one thing that always has me nervous especially when a team has a lead in such a high pace and like where there's so many shots going at the net and so the teams are just so back and forth, is that goals are going to be found one way or the other by both teams. Luka going to get a crack at the net. Kamal with a great save, and now back the other way for the Saints, going to try to break it out. Knight, little side touch, miss hit, and Kamal will be there to bury it for his second of the game. And now St. Clair with a commanding 3-0 lead in game 2.
They are looking a lot better in this. I don't know if it's Rochester getting a little too overconfident. And, you know, when you get overconfident, you start missing stuff. You start muffling shots. So I do think that maybe it's overconfidence. Maybe it's a reality check saying, hey, this team still has a little bit of confidence as Raman. Raman had a shot there. Kamal had a shot, and, you know, Skies was there to make a save. And, I mean, they are just seeming more confident in this game than they did at all last series.
Yep.
And everything they do, from rotations to even challenges, 50-50s, even if you're just an even split, 50-50, you're still helping out your defensive side.
Exactly, yeah. You don't need to make the epic save or make the crazy play that leads to a goal. As long as you make the right play at the right time, shot will come through. Sky's going to get the knockdown. Kamal is going to try to play it again. It will play towards over the right corner of Rochester. Luka going to try to play it out there. Vitaly will be there for the challenge. Kamal or Raman, one depending it off the car of Rochester. Raman going to try to play it again. Ball will get chipped out toward mid. Little tip pass to Knight. Going to go crossbar and down possibly. Unable to land the redirect, but Rochester still with a decent crack of the net. Skies is going to follow up. Will it go in the left corner? Saints are going to be able to clear for the time being, but Rochester not going away quite yet.
Not quite yet. And I mean, right now, the shots they have, they're a little bit weaker, but they're in spots where it doesn't matter if it's weaker. Because if the Saints are just out of boost just enough, it's going to float in.
Yeah, just pick the spots, pick those corners.
I mean, again, game 2, it could possibly end up in a series tied at 1 apiece, but
I'm scared to say anything. Yeah, I'm scared to say anything. And I can feel you going, I don't know if I should jump off the bridge totally yet. Let's just wait a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time left. I mean, their defense looks phenomenal this game.
Yeah, this looks like the Series 1 Saints instead of the Series 2 and 3 Saints. This is exactly how they played against Series 1. Great offensive chances. That was a great dribble by Luka, but Raman Aisley there to shut the door. St. Clair said they're finding great offensive chances in bunches. They're getting back on defense, getting saves. Picked up a couple demos here and there. Definitely you feel their presence on the field a lot more than in the last series. Because against Miami, I felt like Miami was just basically controlling the action of the game and making St. Clair play into their hand. And now St. Clair feels like after game 1, falling to Rochester, they're kind of in that driver's seat position, say no pun intended with Rocket League, but they feel like they're finally back in control of the game now, and only 1 minute left. Just have to try to play cleanly and close this one out and go 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, it's full pun intended, you know.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It is full pun intended.
I know.
But again, Rochester, you're going to have an opportunity here. Knight almost, but Kamal with the big save. Going to take it out. Nobody's going to go for it. I think they're just you know, wanting to end the game. I think they just want the series even and go restart the series at best of 3.
And Saints probably want to make sure they have full boost at all times for things like that when Ramen has to come flying across the net and save it in the nick of time. So the Saints just getting up on that boost. Look at the little misplay in the ball. So Rochester might get another play, but if you're St. Clair, that clock is looking real friendly right now. Only 25 seconds and ticking, and you're pressing in Rochester's zone. You've had lots of good chances. The defense so far has been outstanding. You're getting a lot of good chances, a lot of good shots. Everything looks to be a lot more tightened up and buttoned down this game. So just try to ride this one out. And if I'm St. Clair, you want to try to not give up any goals this game. I'm not going to say the curse word that'll jinx it or anything, but if you're St. Clair, you really want to walk away with a 3-0 win here and just get that confidence back on 100.
Yeah, I mean, the way they played this game was phenomenal. I mean, everything they did from rotations to challenging the 50-50s. I mean, ball's still up, so anything can happen, even if it's just one goal, but it's not. So St. Clair is going to tie up the series with a 3-0 victory in Game 2. Now it becomes a best of 3. The next, we said this last series, it comes down to the next 2 wins.
And
which that's...
The pressure ramps, man. Yeah, the pressure amps up, especially when you go back and forth and you know, okay, we had our good moments. Now they kind of caught us. They had their good moments. So you want to make sure you come out ready for game 2. Because St. Clair, what'd they do this game? They scored 5 seconds in. They scored like a minute later. So you have a 2-0 lead. Now there's like 2 minutes left. Now Rochester kind of has to play into your hand, play a little bit out of character. We could see them visibly get a little more loose. That they weren't as tight around the net as they were the other game. So now St. Clair finds those openings, exploits them. Now you have to look to do that consistently over the course of the series. Because now it's a best of 3 with your CCA lives on the line.
Yeah, and I mean, last game right there, Saints had 11-8 shot advantage.
Ooh,
so
that's a lot of shots. Oh my goodness.
That's for Rocket League in 5 minutes. That's a lot of shots.
Yeah, only for a 3-0-2. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, for 3 goals. I mean, the defense from Rochester has been unbelievable right now.
Yeah, that could have been 5 or 6 goals for the Saints, all things considered. Rochester was really, really good at times in the net there.
100%. You know, whatever happens in this game, I'm gonna give the defensive player of the series is one Skies. He's been phenomenal.
Oh!
Wow, Vitali
maybe
pushes it in.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't even know what happened.
I think
there.
a little bit of a misplay on the side of Rochester. I think Luca might have pinched it off the post. Let's see here in a second. Luca didn't get the pinch he wanted. It actually squirted out back toward his left, toward the net, and not toward the corner. So Luca thought that ball was going up to the corner. St. Clair begs to differ, and now they scored 5 seconds into game 2. Now Rochester will end up pressing, though. St. Clair better get this ball out of here. They're going to give this goal back immediately.
So now if you're St. Clair, they always play better when they score first because now Rochester has to play in their hand and play St. Clair's game. So St. Clair can wait a little bit, but the challenges are just, they're there.
So good.
They're confident going up for the ball, using the boost for the aerials. Everything's confident. They're going to have an opportunity here. I don't know who that was.
Kamal came flying off screen and just tried to get the bottom 2 tires on that, unable to find the connection. Skies is going to try to pitch to the corner and might be end up in the back of the Saints net. Kamal has other things to say. Will they be able to make the save again? They will not. Luca on the follow, and Rochester knocks this thing up a minute in.
And this, I mean, just great. I mean, like I said, you have defense. You get more shots. You send out the goalies.
And they caught the Saints double committing and rotating the other way, and that's exactly what happened, just like you said. You catch them going, and that's it.
The double commit can only work so much, especially if you don't get the ball out.
Yeah, especially in front of the net. When you're committing the opposite direction, it's like if you miss this, or if like this ball's not hit well, the net's going to be open.
Yeah, and I mean, just like that, it's tied up, so still anybody's game, and this is a crucial, extremely crucial game right here, and just off the post. I think that was Luca and Knight. Both had their opportunities. So, I mean, it's not a team to mess around with. Rochester is something out. They are playing phenomenal.
Yeah, everyone, I think, and one thing, I think St. Clair gets a lot of teams like best games. So St. Clair, there's not really ever like too many opponents in CCA and CRL where we feel like we get like a bad match from them. Even if we end up winning like a 3-0 or like a 3-1, like every single team feels like it can definitely compete. And especially we see Rochester and some of these teams, man, they come out swinging in these series and they are looking to take heads off. And St. Clair looking to get that one back now. Trying to chip this ball into the corner. Looks like Rochester might have a breakout. Going to be stalled out for the time being. Going to be chipped over midnight. Going to try to make something happen with the air dribble. Challenge will come through, but it will not matter. Knight defeats 2 Saints, and it is 2-1.
And just like that, you know, catches the ball and just goes through. A little bit of, a little bit of Deegan, a little bit of dodging. Just a little tap. Just a little tap. Just phenomenal. Just unbelievable there from Knight and give Rochester a 2-0 lead. But I say, Nobody was there, and I mean, boost and kickoffs is extremely difficult.
Yeah, you pretty much have like one play at the ball with your boost, then you have to rotate out and try to find another play because you get that 33 boost or whatever, and then that's all you got. Sky is just gonna dribble it up. Great job by Kamal to be patient, not overcommit, just be like, all right, wait for him to flip that ball. That's the biggest thing. They just lull you to sleep with the ball in the car, and then they try to flip it last second. Kamal there for the save, but Rochester not going away quite yet. Raman with a fantastic job clearing it coast to coast. Will he find the net? He will not do so. Knight with a great save, but St. Clair on the back tap. Will they find the third? No, and now 3 Saints have to get back on defense.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like that's what scares me a little bit is when you have all 3 in the offensive zone or like parallel to the ball on the across the field. If they get one good shot, it could be over. Like your night's over if they get one good shot. But again, what a shot there. I believe that was from Luka. And big save. And that's going to be all tied up from Vitali. Reading that rebound up at the roof.
Yeah, great job by Raman to start the breakout. Perfect little chip off the crossbar. And just as you said, Vitali with the perfect read goes backside to confuse the members of Rochester. And now we are 2-2 with 2 minutes left. And the series is still deadlocked at 1. This is going to be very intense these last 2 minutes.
With how each team's playing, it wouldn't surprise me. I'll say this every series. Overtime.
No, this one especially.
This series, how close it's been. I mean, it's 2-2. It was 1-1. Now it's 2-2.
Yeah.
With a minute 45 left, who knows what could happen. It's a little bit wide, but again, it's just phenomenal on how both teams are playing right now.
Yeah, both teams are cycling the ball so well in the offensive zone. With Rochester would cycle it corner to middle. They're getting second and third looks. St. Clair's doing a great job of just playing keep away in the other end. Off the post. Will they get the double touch? Unable to do so. Luka able to reverse into the ball and put it up the wall. Going to try to maybe make a play with it. A little bit of air dribble. Not much boost to play with, though. Going to be taken up by Raman. Great bump to clear with the net, but Knight also there to play net for the side of Rochester. So St. Clair getting a lot of good chances here late in Game 3, but just unable to find the home.
Yeah, that's actually going to be perfect to Vitali. Trying to get something started. Oh, Knight's there. Comes from the corner after getting full boost, I do assume. He did have a lot of speed and off the post again. 1 minute left, 60 seconds remain. It's a close battle. It's deadlocked at 2 apiece. Both teams had their opportunities so far. And another one there from Raman, and the Skies again with a clutch save.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of demos, and the Saints are threatening from every angle on this net so far, whether it's post, crossbar, or just missing wide. They are drawing a chalk outline around that net right now. Rochester trying to get this ball back over midnight, is going to try to play it. It will get challenged. Raman should be able to gain possession of this and try to start the breakup. Vitali trailing behind. Kamal going to be set up from Raman. Going to get the touch. Raman is there for the finish, though, and St. Clair takes a 1-goal lead with just seconds remaining in Game 3.
Sort of a tic-tac-toe there. The pass to Kamal.
Absolutely.
Great save, and he's there for the rebound.
Perfect.
It's just Luka was already in the air. He was close to it, but he's already in the air, so by that time,
that 0.5 seconds is everything in Rocket League. So even though, Luka's almost at a perfect spot, almost certainly not going to cut it. St. Clair, now you just got to cut 18 more seconds of lockdown defense. A lot of demos coming through for Rochester, though, so maybe they've put a little bit too much into the demos the last minute and not so much into the scoring, and now they find themselves down, and just like that, you had a 1-0 series lead, and now St. Clair's pressing, and it's about to be a 2-1 lead, and you just lost a lead in the same process. So now Rochester, you blew the lead in the game, you blew a series lead to start off, but I will say, they are not going dead yet, and they will end up balling in Game 3. So St. Clair going to take a 2-1 lead in a fantastic bounce-back game.
Yeah, I mean, that whole game was just the offense, the defense from both teams, some unbelievable saves. And, I mean, look at the shots from St. Clair.
Wow.
From both teams, actually.
Oh, I think it was 12-12, actually.
I think, if I read that correctly, that was 12-12.
So, I mean, that game looked like it was 12-12 in shots. That was literally just back and forth, both teams firing. That's what, 2-3 shots a minute in Rocket League for both teams, which is absolutely insane.
Fast pace. You talk about fast pace. The series could be over right here, or Rochester could tie it up and push Game 5.
Yeah, Saints going to try to start early again. Both games they won, they scored in the first 25 seconds. Not saying you have to score that quickly, but it certainly helps you a little bit when you're like, okay, we know we're not going to take our foot off the gas and just like give up because we have a 1-goal lead, but now we're not as stressed. We can play our game a little bit. We can try a couple things. We don't still be tight on the rotation, but we can mess around a little bit. And now Rochester, once again, they're going to play a lot of keep away in the Saints' end. Looks like Sky and Luka are going to get a bump. It actually almost worked out in their favor, though. Kamal going to get the chip. I know the Saints are pretty boost-starved right now, so going to just try to clear this ball and get a reset.
On net.
Ooh, yeah.
That was on net, but Skies there had enough time, had a while. Again, though, but both teams phenomenal. This is going to be another shot on net. Thought there was going to be a redirect there, but 50-50 there. Is there going to be secondary? It is, but it's going to go out front. And I mean, passes.
Nice.
That's going to be on net, but Skies, again, is there.
Just everywhere, man. That guy's everywhere, all over. Every time the ball goes up, Skies is either on the challenge or he just seems like he's getting the redirect and pushing it, but Rochester just seems like they're swarming the ball. And listen, when you're down in this series, I'd expect them to do exactly that. If you're St. Clair, you had to be ready for this big uppercut to come and this big combo because you knew Rochester, and they came out swinging in game 1. Now that their lives are on the line, you know they're not coming to play around. So if you're St. Clair, I think honestly the first or maybe the second goal, depending on what the score is, might end up being the decider because I think we saw a lot of offensive output the first couple games, but I think both teams are going to slow it down just a touch to make sure they don't throw it here.
It's all on the line for Rochester University. They are going to be playing, they have to play mistake-free or it's over for them. It's even if St. Clair opens up the scoring, you're going to see, I'm not saying you're going to see, but there probably will be a few mistakes just from the stress and the you can't make a mistake. That's pressure.
Yeah, it's tough, man, especially when there's like 5-6 shots when the ball's like careening down off the crossbar and everything's moving in like slow motion. It's a lot of pressure. A lot of the players say it's tough to get those angles, especially with like the change of pace and the fake some of these guys are throwing. It's really, really hard to read the ball a lot of the time. So just try to find that easy shot, pepper the net, get those consistent chances. Rochester had a decent job of getting consistent chances. Nothing too material though. St. Clair with a great little tap. Vitali might have another chance though. Kamal going to try to set something up. Vitali on the back tap, unable to land contact, but Rahman is going to get the touch there and send it back toward the net. So little good job of St. Clair getting a nice little offensive possession, but Rochester will break it out.
Yeah, that's a great read there from, I believe that was Kamal or Vitali, but again, that's going to be a great bounce.
And the demo
It's going to be a wide
through.
open net, but he's not going to commit to that. That may have been a bad choice on that part. You have all or nothing. St. Clair doesn't care if it's tied. They have the series lead. It all comes down to Rochester. It's Rochester's game in a must-win situation, or their series is over. Their season's over.
Yeah, obviously St. Clair has to win, but Rochester has to like go force the win almost. St. Clair can be like, even though you don't want to give up a game knowing you have game 5 in the back pocket, especially when you have a series lead, they can think of this and go, okay, as long as we play a clean game, if this is 0-0 with a minute left, like, we just got to get one in the net and we can probably close these guys out. If you're Rochester, they're like, hey, we got to worry about this game and then the next game on top of it. So both teams, the pressure's starting to build. Only a minute and 40 seconds, so a lot less shots on net this game, a lot more open field play, a lot better challenges. It's a lot better like dribbling and stuff this game. Not as many shots on net, not quite the volume at least. Luca is going to try to set something up though. The Saints unable to get the touch on it. Rahman will end up getting the clear. Sky's going to try to get the redirect. A lot of demos coming through for Rochester though, and that one demo, that last play, they almost got a goal off it. So you know they've been looking for it the last 2 games. So if you're St. Clair, just keep that in the back of your mind and try to use that against them. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, if you can use that as momentum, like, okay, maybe we can demo them.
Yeah.
Maybe we can demo one person. He's going to set this up for himself. Oh, and he just missed a double tap.
Very, very close. I think one of the members of Rochester might have got a little tire on it there, but now we're down to the last minute before we go into OT, and both teams still trying to break this deadlock. We had a pretty fast-paced, decently high-scoring series up to this point, but now Saints going to try to get that double commit. Rahman is going to play it off the wall. Saints have to make sure they got those defensive rotations. You do not want to give up a cheap, dirty goal with a minute left to tie this series up or to lose the series alternatively. So both teams, just earlier, the one thing you said that sticks out a lot is mistake-free. Now there's no choice. Both teams have to play mistake-free because the next mistake will almost certainly cost you the game and potentially the series.
I couldn't agree more. It's just, it comes down to this. 20 seconds left in regulation with Rochester's season tournament on the line. I mean, everything about it just makes it more stressful. It's a little bit of a floor. He's going to get a shot, but it's just wide. Wide open net. He's going to score. Luca's going to put it away. 6 seconds remaining. St. Clair can tie it, but Rochester, this is exactly what they needed.
The Saints did such a good job the whole game, and then Kamal doesn't get enough meat on the ball. Vitali came for the double help, knowing that Kamal probably didn't get the shot on the net, but the ball kicks off to the left. Luca's able to finish it off, and now 6 seconds left before Game 5. Saints have to make it happen. 4, 3. Ball is in Rochester's end, so maybe they get one crack at it. It will go way over their head, though. Couple demos coming through, and now moving into Game 5.
Anybody's game.
Yeah.
Anybody's game at this point. Again, the shots between the first game, that was 11-8, 12-12.
We went from 24 shots to 4.
And now
5.
it's 3-2 in shots. How much of a game change that was when when they needed to play that solid defense and, you know, no mistakes, it doesn't care about offense. But now it's 100% offense.
Yeah, now I think whatever team scores first will likely end up probably taking the series. That seems to be the theme of this series so far. So, oh, great bump in front of the net there for Rochester. Vitali, I have no idea how we got bumped, turned around, and still made the epic save. But St. Clair, you got to get Rochester out here because they are feeling it off that Game 4 win, and they are coming for St. Clair.
It all comes down to this. Both teams' tournaments, seasons are on the line. Game 5. I mean, this is what you want to see in Rocket League. That's going to be a shot. Oh, man, defense there by Knight, but Vitali's going to catch it. Going to get it again. Flick it in. And Vitali's going to open up the scoring for St. Clair.
Vitali breaking ankles and hearts. Cuts through the Rochester defense like a knife. Great little fake. Quick little touch and flip. Gets the double touch into the corner. And Vitali putting some sauce on it, and St. Clair's got the lead.
That is unbelievable. So, I mean, 1-0 for St. Clair.
A lot of time. A lot of time. You still have 4 minutes. That's majority of the game still. So, unless St. Clair does something miraculous and just goal. I don't think it'll be like that. I do think that Rochester will tie it up and possibly see an overtime. But, again, both teams need to go mistake-free and lock down defense for St. Clair. We saw last game, they went mistake-free for like 4.5 minutes, and there's 6 seconds left, and guess what? I thought it wasn't even so much a mistake, it's just a good play from Rochester, too. All it takes is one thing goes wrong your way at the wrong time, 5 seconds left, and all of a sudden, now you're going to Game 5. So St. Clair, they're definitely, you can tell, they're looking to put a second one on the board. Great touch by Vitali. Kamal with a fantastic assist in St. Clair. Now you start to look ahead, and you really want to put the foot down now.
Yeah, I mean, I think they want this series. I think they got it in them. And, I mean, 2-0, it's not that big of a lead. But if you let St. Clair score another one, I do think the series is over. I do think that Rochester needs to score the next goal for there to be any chance.
Yeah, I would agree. I think 3 is almost the magic number, at least tonight for the Saints. I think when they've scored 3 or more goals, they haven't lost a game yet, which, I mean, if you lose a game scoring 3 goals, it was probably a very, very high-scoring shootout. But St. Clair, when they seem to get that early advantage, they play really, really well with the lead, but sometimes they struggle playing from behind. So I think once they get the lead, they really feel the freedom, and they really think things open up. Rahman agrees, going to try to get the double touch. Vitali is going to be there for the redirect, and he will find the goal. So just as I was saying, Vitali will get the hat trick as well. So Vitali with an awesome game to start off, and just as we were saying, man, pepper the net, get these chances. In St. Clair, once they get that lead, man, they just like to extend that thing.
All 3 players are just sitting in the net. It's unfortunate. It doesn't look good, but again, St. Clair is playing the beat down offense, more confidence. They're playing more confident. They're getting the shots on goal, and they're actually going for stuff. That's going to be a little bit of a floater, but Knight is just sitting in net, perfect timing. Couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah.
Now, Rochester needs to score by the 2-minute mark.
I honestly, the way this game has been with the score, I would have to agree. I think they need to get one back pretty quickly here because St. Clair is clearly like, all right, we're going to go score some goals this game. They are not afraid to push that ball down right now and push that action. And we've seen all 3 players getting involved, whether it's offensively or defensively. Rochester, good little pinch there, but going to be committed. Good 50, going to be 1 for St. Clair. Vitali is going to try to play that out of the corner, unable to land the touch. Kamal is going to be there to try to get it. 2 members of Rochester kind of stuck in the corner there. Kamal just trying to play that over mid. Looks like a little bit of back and forth so far, but a little bit of break from the high action we just had.
Yeah, I mean, it's Rochester needs to score a quick one here. 3 goals in 2 minutes, that's tough.
Yeah.
Especially against the Saints when they have.
Oh, wow.
As I say that, before the 2-minute mark, that was Luca put Rochester on the board, only down by 2. So now you have a minute for each goal. A little bit more time, but you can't look at it that way because once a minute leaves, now you're down to 30 seconds.
Yeah. With each passing second, with even more than a 1-goal lead, it gets like probably 2% harder to win the game with each second. So if you're Rochester, that's exactly what you needed. You get not the equalizer, but you get yourself back in the game at least. Now you're like, okay, we have a goal under us. We're not trying to wipe that 0 off the board. And forget wiping the 0. They're trying to put a 2 on their skies with a shot at the net. But St. Clair going to be playing off that back foot. Will end up making the save, but they don't have a lot of boost right now. Kamal or Vitali going to get double committed. Knight's going to end up winning that and just bruising the ball into the net. And now 2 goals in 23 seconds. Don't look now, but Rochester is alive and thriving.
One quote I say all the time when you're down and you score a couple is the boys are buzzing.
Yeah.
Any sport, it doesn't matter.
It's
the
true.
Boys are buzzing. The vibes are high.
Yep.
they got so much momentum going towards them now. Now you scored 17 seconds after that first goal. Now you have a minute, just over a minute and a half to score one goal to tie the game.
Yeah, and momentum, although you can't see it or touch it, very, very real. So if you're Rochester, on top of being close back in the game, you just got to be feeling good, man. You just scored 2 really good goals back-to-back. You got them nice and easy. Now you just got to play for 1 goal. It's like basically a 1-0 game now. But St. Clair, that's why I said it's great that you get that early lead, but you have to keep that level of pressure on where that, like, Rochester doesn't feel like they can just open up the field and do what they want. You have to try to, like, suffocate them and close them off. And St. Clair doing an okay job so far. Knight is going to start the breakout. Going to try to chip it toward the corner. Going to be dropped there by Kamal. Going to try to play it out now.
The demo, that might be good demo there. That's going to be a center. Kamal's there. That's, oh man, I thought he was there to tie it. It was extremely close and a little bit of a misplay. Going to be a rebound. Rahman gonna score. Now they're back down. Under 30 seconds per goal. It's tough. It's going to be close. You have 28 seconds per goal, and now if you're Rochester, you had no more defense, full throttle offense.
Yeah. Now you have to go into full send mode.
Yeah, you have absolutely nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah, St. Clair though, they still have everything to lose, so you don't want to blow this lead now. You want to just play a little bit of clock control. However, a 3-goal lead sounds even better. They're going to try to find it, and they will end up doing so. Rahman going to find another. So all the Saints getting on the scoreboard in this one and just doing an absolutely terrific job of buckling down, weathering the storm of Rochester, and just going on a crazy run of their own. And now 2 goals in 30 seconds for them, and now 45 seconds. You have a 3-goal lead. This should theoretically be wrapped up.
Yeah, you have 15 seconds per goal. That's extremely tough.
Yeah.
When you were just at 2 minutes for 1 goal.
Yeah.
So
how quickly it changes.
Absolutely. You have 1 shot and then momentum boost. Momentum swings so much, and right now, St. Clair is just buzzing. They're feeling good right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it, going into the semifinals. They're feeling good. So I'm not sure who we verse if we have anything yet, but. All right, so we do have Michigan or GVSU.
The rematch with GVSU, yeah.
The rematch is possible. I'm not sure what Michigan's round was, but I know GVSU was a solid team.
Yeah, GVSU gave us a really, really good series. It looks like Rochester's time in the CCA last chance or second chance qualifier is about to be finished. Vitali got to take one more little air dribble, half the fifth reset. Ball will touch the turf, and St. Clair able to weather that early storm of Rochester, come back in this series, and now they will move on to losers semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, phenomenal series. Game 5.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the one. Rochester had the 1-0 series lead. Then they went down by 1. They tied it up, and it came down to the last minute 30.
Yeah, that game felt like an absolute seesaw match. Just it was back and forth the entire game, ticking like a metronome, and both teams were just trying to get that last touch, trying to get that last effort to push themselves over the finish line. St. Clair able to go on an absolute just blitz that last 2 minutes of Game 5, and now they're going to walk in and say it'll be loser semis. It'll be against Michigan or I can't remember the other
GVSU.
score. Yeah, GVSU in the rematch. So, but. That series gives me a lot more confidence. The first half of the series, not so much, but they really looked like they found their footing, dug their heels in, and they looked like they played up to their potential that last 2 games.
Their confidence, that's a big thing in Rocket League, is you have to have confidence with everything you do, from flying to the ball to even defense. Simple as defense. It's all confidence. So I do think we are going to get a little bit of an intermission.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute intermission. We'll be right back with the semifinals.
Stay locked.